And we are officially live.
Beautiful. Hey, Jackie, how are you today again?
I'm great. Thank you. It's awesome to be with you, Pierre. It's always a highlight for me
Same.
when we have these workshops or when I'm part of your sessions because I learn so much from you. I'm not a marketing guru or any of that kind of things. I mean, what I know about it is the basics to get my own websites and things out there. But like today, I've learned a few things from images. I mean, I never looked at images the way that you do. So thank you for that.
Yeah.
But it's awesome to be around you for
Well,
sure.
likewise, every time we're on these sessions, you show me a lot of things that I didn't know before. So I really appreciate that. And for everyone watching, thanks for joining us today. We'll give everyone here a minute. Go ahead and let us know where you're joining from. Drop a link in the comments and we can get started. For those of you who don't know, every Tuesday, from now until the foreseeable future, Jackie and I create website templates during our hourly live stream, usually on Tuesdays, every Tuesday at 9:30 Eastern.
Yes.
So go ahead and keep joining us. And if you're interested in those sessions, you can, on our YouTube channel, you can go back and see the previous videos. But today, we're not here to talk about websites at all. We're here to talk about emails and how to become the email hero of your dreams. So here we go. Sorry about that. I don't know if you guys have seen or have had this happen to you. My office chair sort of let go. You know how you have the pin at the bottom, and it gives you a mini heart attack. I think I just had a full one just now. So sorry about that.
Awesome.
Cool. Let's get started today. Email hero. What is an email hero, and what is this workshop about? Today we are going to work through 3 different stages of emails. We're going to talk about when and why we send emails, 3 different ways to set up your email flow in increasing difficulty, and then 3, Jackie, you're going to take us through and we're going to create our emails and our automations right in Mailing Boss. It's going to be an exceptional session. What's going to happen today, everyone, is we are going to take the first level, the basic, standard email. We're going to show you guys how easy it is to create that standard email on the Builderall platform. Then we're going to add a layer of complexity that's called automations. And we're going to create a situation where, based on user behavior, it triggers an email to be sent to them. That's, to give you an example, if someone signs up for a newsletter, they can be sent a specific email automatically. And then the third and final level, we are going to show you guys how we can use UTM links in URLs to filter users by lists depending on, where they came from. So the idea is, if you're running advertising for your website, each ad can have a different UTM, and based on that UTM link, those users will be sent to an individual user list in Mailing Boss, and you can automate your communication with those users based on where they came from. So pretty elaborate. We're going to break it down. Everything's going to be easy peasy. Jackie always does a great job of making all of this really tangible and really easy for us to understand. All right. So we're going to get started. Jackie, do you have anything to add before we start moving here?
Yes, I wanted everybody to remember, don't feel overwhelmed with the things that we are going to show you. It is really not that difficult. It just takes a little bit of concentration to understand certain aspects of Mailing Boss. But once you get it, you guys are going to see how easy it becomes, and it can really automate everything, and you can sit back and relax. So just take that in consideration. If it's the very first time that you're going to see Mailing Boss, don't fall off your chair like Pierre just did now. It is really going to be easy for you once you have gone through the session, and you can always go and watch the replay again.
That is true. That is true. Don't fall off your chairs. Don't have that happen to you. Before we continue, let's really talk about why emails work and how they work and where we need to be sending emails, where in our marketing funnel we need to look at sending users email. On the left-hand side here, you're going to see what we always show, which is the AIDA principle. For those of us who are not familiar, let me go through it one more time. AIDA stands for awareness, interest, decision, action. These are the steps that your brain and anyone's brain goes through every single time we have any decision to make. Okay? Every single time your brain needs to decide on which chocolate bar to buy or which car to purchase, your mind goes through the same thing. These are the processes that we want to really dial into. And I want everyone to really think about it this way. What we're doing right now connects marketing with psychology. Okay, this is us tapping into users' brains and decision-making processes to make our marketing the best marketing possible. Okay, the top of the funnel is your awareness stage. This is where you're just getting to know someone, or you want someone to just get to know you. Any channel that's really broad market that people can sort of stumble upon you would be considered top of the funnel. Emails are not used as top of the funnel channels. Sometimes people do use emails as a top of the funnel channel, and it barely ever works. All right. And if it does work, it's usually by happenstance. We don't rely on it as marketers. Okay. It's not a thing we do. Top of funnel channels are things like social media ads, Spotify ads, radio ads, banners on TV, banners on your Google ads, for example. Excuse me, my cat's barging into this meeting. Anything you can think of where you can get yourself in front of the user is a broad market channel. A middle of funnel is more of your consideration set. This is where users start to collect more information about you. All right. So anything like a landing page or a brochure, a flyer, a newsletter, anything where you get to spend a little bit more time with users and share more information is that middle of funnel channel. Does email fit here? Sometimes it does. Sometimes emails do a really good job of nurturing our users and bringing them down to that action stage. Now, the action stage is your bottom of the funnel. This is where you can send a user an email that says, hey, I have 20% off for the next 45 minutes. Click the link below and claim this deal that I know you're interested in. This is when users are they know who you are, they know what you're about, they're ready to make a move, and then you come in and you say, hey, convert now. All right.
While you were saying that, Pierre, I just want to jump in there quickly because I just had that thought now. When you were talking about nurturing your emails, and that could also put them in a direction, I think sometimes people don't understand a little bit about what nurturing really is about.
Yeah.
And if I could summarize it, if you are going to do some type of a launch, people opt into your list, you send them a freebie, something of value, and during the whole process, that nurturing is building that know, like, and trust factor, bringing not just the awareness and the interest, but it's helping them to make that decision at the end when you're going to send them the final email that's going to push them right into that funnel where they're going to make that purchase. So it's basically like warming them up. That is what that nurturing is all about. It's that warming up process, giving them value after value after value. It's almost like give, and then take.
Sure.
So just had to mention that one.
I love that. I love that you mentioned that, Jackie. So in a lot of ways, consider marketing a very long sales cycle. And this nurturing process is you combating user objections. If someone says, yeah, well, what about, what about this functionality, or what about this usability? Do you have this feature? You want to show people all of those answers, and then finally give them the price, or give them that call to action at the very end. That'll drive them to actually make a decision. All right, but the process of nurturing is really information driven, right? So that's why here I have information channels such as landing pages, discussion forums, video reviews, ebooks, anywhere where you can combat objections, show your features, show your users all the things that you can do. That's a perfect middle of the funnel channel. High intent channels are really where the rubber hits the road. All right, we are going to focus on emails today. You can use emails as both a middle of the funnel channel and a bottom of the funnel. Most conversions that you're going to see as a business owner are going to come from your emails, because users are going to take the time, they're going to find your website, or they're going to join your list however they do. Just please make sure it's an organic way that's sort of opted in. Don't go out and purchase lists. That's not going to help you. I know sometimes people worry, well, my list is only 500 people. 500 interested users will beat out 5,000 users who don't care about you. Okay? So without further ado, let's keep this rolling. Are your users looking for more information? Then you can send them emails. Are your users looking to have some motivation, or they're looking for that last step to take action? You can send them emails. Anything else, do not treat them with emails. There are different channels that do those things that you're looking for them to do. I have this idea here of motivating information that I think is really important. All right. We want to drive action. That's what we want to do. Sometimes people need a little bit of information that sounds something like 67% of users that have used our competitor in the past stated that our brand is the only one they use and recommend. Shop our sale and find out why. That type of messaging answers a lot of things for users. It answers the competitive question of, is this other brand better? It tells users that I have current brand advocates, people who came to my brand that now love my brand and would recommend it to their friends. And it tells users that we have a sale going on right now. So those 3 check boxes have been checked. This type of messaging is incredibly powerful, and I highly recommend that people steal this type of message. Without further ado, if we don't have any questions, we can just get started with that level 1. We're going to create an email campaign. We're going to show off how easy it is to create and send out an email from our platform, from the Builderall platform and the Mailing Boss tool. The next level is going to be adding that initial email into an automation. This is going to have some wait times and list triggers. That means that when users join this list, we will send them this email automatically. All right. And then finally, we're going to have a UTM segmentation. And this is going to make our messaging smarter. It's going to make our analytics smarter. It's going to let us communicate with users at the most precise level of their interactions with us. I'll give you an example. If someone came into Builderall from an ad that said, hey, Mailing Boss is the tool to use for your emails, and they just came in and they signed up for an essentials plan, which gives you a whole bunch of tools outside of Mailing Boss, I know that this user is interested in email. So if I were to communicate with them, I'm going to send them communication that has to do with emails. Hey, join this workshop. Here's this newsletter. Get this downloadable file. Whatever it is to support their email journey, I know to prioritize that. All right. Let me take this comment. Epic. In the comment section, these recordings will remain accessible on YouTube. Just go ahead, subscribe, and ring the bell to our YouTube channel, and come back, watch these, and go through we want to make things really easy for everyone to follow along and be able to like get all the information you need. All right, so basically this is what we're going to do, the 1, 2, and 3 levels of this workshop. If you have no experience in emails at all, you'll at least walk out knowing what these different levels are. You'll know how to create an email and send it out. You'll know how to create an automation and send it out. And if you're here looking to hit that next level of email marketing, stick around for that level 3. I promise it is transformational to your marketing if you apply this, and it's very, very easy on the Builderall platform. So without further ado, last thing I'll leave you with, Email Hero is our promo code for today. You get 50% off the Essentials plan, and you get a free one-on-one call with success coaches such as Jackie to really dial in and unlock your platform, get set up correctly, get all your questions answered, and really hit the ground running. So without further ado, I'll leave you here. Does anyone have any questions before we kick it over to Jackie? And Jackie, I don't know if you had any questions. I might have moved a little too quickly. But
no, I don't see any questions at the moment.
I must have done a really good job.
Exactly, as usual.
All right.
Perfect.
So with that, we'll kick it over to you, and I'll stop my screen share here, and you can take over.
Great. All right. So before we get started, I'm just going to paint a little picture here of what this business is that we are going to do, because obviously you need to know your brand, you need to know what your business is like, you need to know why people are actually going into your list. So we are going to pretend that we're a real estate agency, all right, and we are buying and selling homes or properties or whatever you want to call it. So we're a real estate, and according to the real estate, that is how we are going to set up all our email marketing campaigns. All right. So the very first thing that you always need to do when you start your business on Builderall, and I always say that, and I will stick to it, is to create a list, because the list is going to become the most important asset that you have in your business, because you need to own your client. And therefore, that is why once I have got my account, I always go and create the list very right in the beginning, before I even actually go to creating landing pages. And soon you will see why I'm saying that. All right, so the very first thing we're going to do is to create a simple list. So right here on my dashboard, there's 2 ways you can do that. You can see create subscriber list on this side, or you can go subscriber list on the left-hand side. But let's just make it easy. This is a quick action to get things done quicker, right? So I'm going to go to the quick action, and we're going to give it a name. And I'm just going to call this real estate company so that we can stick to it. Double opt-in, single opt-in. We're not going to go into much detail with regards to that. Double opt-in is really when you want a person to confirm to be on your list, all right? In the past, and I mean, this is now my personal opinion, but in the past, with a double opt-in would have been the best way to go, because then at least you know that the person wants your email, wants to be on your list. But we now have got the sunset policy, which means is that we've got procedures in place that if a person do not click on your links or open your emails or confirm and all those type of things, they will go into suppression mode, which means is they will not receive your emails unless they click on those links. So it's like a protective mechanism. But if you want to be double sure that the person needs to be on the list over and above that extra protection, then I would say make use of a double opt-in. But for this example, I'm just going to leave it at single. So now that we've opened it up, the very important part is to make sure that you've got a verified email address. Now, you cannot verify your email address unless you've got a connected domain inside of your platform. But you can create your list, and you can always come back here once you have connected your domain and once you verified your email address. But in this example, you can see what an unverified email address look like. It's the bunch of numbers right there at the top. And I know that this is an email marketing workshop, and therefore this is very important to know that if you are going to make use of an unverified email, it will definitely land into spam. All right. There is no doubt about it, because your domain is probably going to be new. And because your domain is new, it's almost like a cross next to your name when they look at the service providers, because they don't know you yet. They need to get to know who you are. So if you're going to make use of a domain name that you've already registered and connected, it gives you that extra little tick next to your name to say, okay, this is a legit company. They are actually sending out emails. So that is why it is so important to make sure that you choose that and not leave it by default on that. I have seen multiple times people come back and say, my stuff lands up in spam. And then when you go look at an account, it's because they've been on the from email. They forgot to move it onto the training, the correct verified email. Now, the from name, obviously, you can change that to your name. You can have that to anything. I can just say Jackie. You can have any type of reply. It doesn't have to be a verified. It can just be Jackie at whatever it be in this case. All right. And then I just quickly want to speak about the automated re-engagement system. This is really important for email marketing. I just mentioned it now, that this is where you're going to make sure that if a person do not click or open your emails or engage with you, this will automate an email, and you need to go edit that email, so that once they do fall into that category, it's going to send out an automated message that says, hey, you're not on my list, but you need to edit it obviously according to what your brand is, and make sure that it's super engaging, because this is going to determine whether they're going to click on that link and open it. And the moment they do that, they will be back into your list and they will no longer be suppressed. This is really, guys, this is an awesome system. If you really understand what this thing is doing for you, then you will definitely make sure that you go and activate that. All right. So you're going to make sure that everything on the page is correct, and then you're going to click update. Now you can, and I'm just going to click cancel there. You can go to the forms and add additional fields. You don't have to stick with just an email or a first name, but at the same time, the less, the better. And the reason for that is people's attention span is very short. If you're going to start asking for a lot of information, they're probably not going to even fill in that form. Rather, at a later stage, collect more information, like on a thank you page, and ask them to update their profile or whatever the case might be. So keep it short and simple. Now you can see, I always prefer to use the F name at the top and then the email, so you can see you can move it around. And another important part, if you want to personalize emails, extremely important to go and click and make it sure that it is required. Because what happens if a person do not fill it in and it's not compulsory? The system will say hi and it's not personalized. The person's name is not going to be there. So make sure that they have to fill in their name, unless that is not important to you. But these days, you want to greet them by their name. All right. So once you have done that, you're going to click on update. We are not going to talk about pages and emails and the rest of that, because that's not important at this stage. We just need to create this list so we can start sending out emails, right? So now I'm going to close this, and you're going to see that our list is sitting right there, real estate company. All right. So now we are going to go and create our first emails. So you'll see on the left-hand side, if I go back to the dashboard, I want to show you both ways. You'll see that you can start creating email here, or you can go to emails on the left-hand side. Now, you know, I'm one of those people that just by habit always go to the left-hand side. I don't know why, but I do that. And I'm just going to click on email sequence. And while we are at this now, I just have to say to you guys, we have recently, our mailing boss, if you are a Builderall member, has just had an overhaul in the last few days. The way that you are going to create emails doesn't look the same anymore. So for me, it's almost like foreign, because I only saw it a few days ago. All right. But it's still the simple, and it's still exactly the same, just easier and simpler to use. Okay. So you're going to click on create a new sequence, and then we're going to click. And actually, let me first go show you something else, because you can't see that both here. Let me just step back one, because I want to explain to you the differences between 3 different types of emails. So if I click on new email from the dashboard to create email, you'll see you've got a regular, a sequence, and a campaign. major differences, and people sometimes just don't understand that. So I just want to explain it one more time. A regular broadcast is something that you are going to send out once to everybody on your list. It is connected to a specific list at a specific date at a specific time. It's not something that you can add in a sequence and send again and again and again. It may be an email that goes over Christmas time or over Mother's Day, where you are sending out a promotion, or a newsletter is a good example of a regular broadcast. Then you get a sequence. Now, a sequence is a set of emails that are connected to a specific list at a specific date at a specific time. And then a campaign is something that is being created. It's like a sequence, but the difference between the two is it's not connected to a specific list or a specific time, because a campaign is used inside of a workflow where a sequence is not the same. But with a sequence, there is one thing that you can still use inside of a workflow, and that is if somebody has clicked on a link, then you would be able to pull that information in for the sequence. But for this example, we are going to do the campaign. So I just want to show you that's how I got to it, by clicking on create an email to do a broadcast. Now, if you're going to go to the left-hand side and click on emails here, you cannot create a broadcast from this area. So we're going to click, and I'm going to say here, real estate. And I'm just going to call everything this. You just have to choose the right ones. And I'm going to make use of a campaign because I want to show you in the next phase how you are going to create, how you're going to use the campaign inside of our workflow. So we're going to click save. And now you can see that the campaign has been created right here at the top, and there's only one email, and those are the ones that we are going to edit now. We're going to go to update. If there's any questions or if I'm getting stuck somewhere, I'm sure, Pierre, you will let me know if something happens.
Sure.
So here we can see that we've got our very first sequence. So we're going to go through this one, and then I'm going to show you an easy way on how to edit them. So we're going to click on update. And we are going to go, and you'll see there is our from email again. Important to make sure that you are making use of your verified email. I'm just going to copy that one in here. And I'm going to do first name because I want to be personalized. And then you can make use of magic text to create a subject line and a pre-header, but I'm going to use the magic text for the content here. And I'm just want to change this at the top. Campaign 1. You can give it another name according to what or we can just say welcome. Let's actually write welcome like this. And then we're going to say welcome to real estate company, and you can have a pre-header. But now let's just scroll up a little bit and let's talk about these little things here quickly. You can import an HTML or load a template that you have chosen, or change your template. Now, if you go to the dashboard where I showed you earlier and you go that route, your screen would look different from this one. It's because we are now creating a sequence inside of it, but it's a principle that lays the same. You would be able to use existing templates, by meaning you could have images, text blocks, timers, social media, and all these different kinds of things that you can see on the left-hand side or on the right-hand side, army left. The one thing that I want to mention, especially if your domain is new, is to try and avoid too many links and images and branding and all that kind of things on your first emails, because if you're going to use that, the service providers will probably see you as a company with promotion, and it will run into the promotion folder instead of in your inbox. So once you become more established and your emails are not falling in spam or promotion folders or whatever, then you can start introducing your brand. All right. And yes, I think somebody says they're possible for emojis. Yes, right here on the right, you can see there is an area. You can click there, and then you can add your emoji in right there at the top. And it's the same with regards to the the text itself here. So now let's go with magic text, and we're going to see that you can create subject samples, pre-header samples, sample of content, complete email. So let's go with complete email. What type of business? This is a real estate agency. And what type of product? Selling listings for buyers and sellers, something like that, and generate my text. And then they're going to give you some subject line that you can use. You can use the pre-header, but we've chosen our own. And then you can also copy the text that is available right here. All right, I like to copy it like that. And then all I need to do is replace it right there. So I'm not going to read through it. Obviously, with AI, you have to personalize it and change it according to your brand. But I just wanted to show you that you can make use of Magic Text Editor. So we're going to say hi. Now, in Builderall, to personalize or making use of tags and things, we are calling it macros. You can see it's a view macros. And you will be able to go grab that tag, if you want to call it macro, to insert that name. So I know that it's F name, but I want to show you right there, F name. You can copy, and you can do just like that, and you can enter. And then you can start modifying this, and I mean, you can beautify it. You can add all different kinds of things to it.
And Jackie, let me add something here about macros. I definitely invite everyone to go into the platform and look at the available macros while you're creating your content. You might find a really cool idea to maybe throw in someone's phone number, or maybe at the bottom you can say, hey, can I still call you on X number? Let me know, reply yes if I can do that. And then that way, first of all, you get users to respond to your emails, which the service providers look at very favorably, but also it gives people more engagement with your brand. Then you can pick up the phone, give them a call, have a conversation. So that's something that's just an idea, but definitely come back, look at what macros you have before you write the content, just in case it sparks some sort of idea for you.
Excellent. Yeah. Now, obviously, if I scroll down, you can go and you can change the layout options, the width of the email. So if I go do that, you can see it's across the page. So you can really go and modify this according to your brand so that it looks nice. All right. So I normally, especially I'm telling people, if it's the first time and your domain is new, don't add images and a lot of links and things like that. You can change the background, because I've realized it still gets into the inbox. But when you start adding images, and a lot of a lot of links, that is when they start seeing you as spammy, until you are established. So once you've done that, you're just going to click on save. And then you will see, once the page is over, we've got one email that is ready. And you can see that there is no list being attached here, and you don't need to put in time or value or any of those type of things. All right. All you really need to do is click save. I'm not going to save and activate because I want to show you something just now why. So there's our campaign one. All I want to do now is I'm going to create 3 different kinds of campaigns. And the reason why I'm creating 3 different ones is because it depends on what the person is going to do when they fall onto the list. All right. When they're on the list and they do a certain action, the workflow is going to determine where they're going to go, what they are going to receive. And therefore, we need different email sequences or campaigns. So I'm just going to duplicate this, and I'm going to do this 3 times so that I do not have to go and write and create those emails every time. You need to obviously going to go in like I'm going to do now. And I'm just going to change the headings. Otherwise, I'm going to get confused when we have to do the workflow. So right here, I'm just going to change this campaign, and I'm going to call this 2. And in this campaign, I'm just going to type in link so that you guys can understand what I'm trying to do here. This specific campaign is going to contain a link. All right. So in this case let's just change the subject to create your listing now. And it can obviously be anything else. It doesn't know specifically the listing. And then we are going to type in here your details. And I'm just going to change, let's say that is a link. Just click it there. Hold on a second. Let me just double click. Yes. There we go. I'm just going to change that and put that into a link. And I know I'm just putting in Builderall because I can't think about another link now. As long as you guys can see that there is a link. All right. So once you've done all of that and you make sure all of it is in place, you're going to click save. And we're going to click save. We're not going to activate yet. So you can see we've got the welcome one. We've got a link. And then the final one, I'm going to click on update. And then this one, I'm just going to call it follow up so that we can differentiate between them. I am sure you guys is going to understand when it comes to email sequences that there is method in the madness. The one always builds upon the other one. And that's why I'm just calling this now a follow-up. In this case, we do not have any links in it. It's just a follow-up email. And we're going to click on save. Now you're going to see we've got the 3 emails, but they are all in draft mode. Now, it is important to make sure that your emails are sending and active if you're going to make use of the workflow. Otherwise, it's not going to send. You might activate your workflow, but your sequences is not activated. So to activate is very easy. You just go click on these buttons. As easy as that. Now it's all set up. It's ready, and I'm just going to click update. And now we've got our email set up and it's ready to go. All right. Now we're going to go to the workflow, which is the one right here at the top left. And we're going to click on create workflow. Now, before I do that, just one thing you have to remember. It's always important to go and create your workflow before you start creating a list and start sending people to your list. Why? Because a workflow, you cannot send people into a workflow on an existing list. It needs to be a new list. And then when people join the list, the workflow will be activated. If you want to send people, if you want to connect an existing list with existing members to a workflow, you're going to have to make use of advanced tagging and moving from one list to another. So in this case, because it's a brand new, your list is clean, there's nobody on it, this is the ideal situation. So we're going to click on create workflow.
And sorry, Jackie, it looks like we're moving on to the next level here, right? So let me just hit pause and go back to our presentation here. And
cool.
Just make sure to just touch base with everyone, just to let everyone know where we are exactly.
Yes.
What we just did was we created a single email. This is how you create one single email. If you go in and you want to just, as Jackie said, just send a welcome. We just showed you how to do that. Very, very easy process. Now we're going to show you how to take that one email and connect it to a system that gives you the chance to run automations and workflows. All right. And what those mean, this is where we start to introduce behavior triggers, different segmentations, different, timings, and all sorts of really cool stuff that we're going to go through. But I want you guys to visualize that one email that created plugging into a broader system, right? So this is sort of what we're going to do as a next step. All right.
Yes.
I wasn't sharing my screen. This is the graphic that I want everyone to sort of keep in mind, right? We went from this one single email, and now what we're going to do is we're going to take that and connect it to a system and sort of like a logic tree. Okay, so I am I'm all out of sorts today with tech, but I'll catch up. Jackie, we'll go back to you and.
Perfect. I've just pressed the wrong button here. Where is my screen? I think that's it. Yes, there we go. All right, so let's continue. Let me just move that away. So here we are on the workflow. So we might as well start giving it a name. And I'm just going to call this real estate workflow. All right. And then the first trigger. So the trigger is an important point because what happens needs to happen before people are starting to be added. Something specific needs to happen. And most of the time, now you'll see we have so many different kinds of options. And unfortunately, we cannot go through all of them today. But the most renowned one, or the one that most people are using, is on subscribe. So when a person subscribes to the real estate company on any form, we want the system to do something specific. Let me just move this to the middle so we can see. And that would be the trigger. And then they're going to start joining the workflow. The moment that they give their email and they've confirmed it, they're going to join this workflow. And you will see that the screen has now changed and there's multiple different kinds of options. You can copy to list, you can move a subscriber, you can give them a tag, you can copy them to another workflow that you maybe used, you can update the subscriber, send campaigns, do distribution, flow division, link clicks. You guys can see that it is really a lot of different kinds of things that you can do. I don't want you guys to be afraid in using this. I always say create a test list and go and play around. Put yourself on that test list and see what happens with different kinds of emails. That is the easiest method of learning. All right. So now what we are going to do is when they subscribe, we want to send them our very first campaign. All right. So we're going to click on send campaign and you'll see there is our welcome. So we're going to click on welcome and we're going to click save. So there is our very first one. And I'm just going to click on this arrow and make my screen bigger. Just a second. There we go. Just moving it up a little bit. You can see we've got a tool that you can move around. This is really cool. So we're going to send the campaign. And then there's something that needs to happen. Remember, when you send out a campaign, it doesn't mean in that next few minutes your subscribers is going to actually open it up. People are not watching their emails all day long. So we need to create a waiting period for them. And it's this one right here. We're going to say wait. And we're going to say day. And then you can choose how many days must the system wait before the next action is going to be taken. So let's say I'm going to give them at least a week because you do not know how busy they are. All right. And you want to give them ample time. So now you go 5 days. Let me just scroll up a little bit. And then what happens after the 5 days? We want to check after 5 days, did they actually open up an email? Did they open up the very first email that we sent them? Sorry, my voice is going away. So the one that we've just sent was the welcome email, right? So we're going to choose the welcome email. We're going to click save. Now you're going to see what's happening here. So basically, they have joined the workflow. System is waiting, is going to send out the very first welcome email. 5 days later, the system is going to check, did they open up that welcome email or not? So they give them two choices. Yes, they did, or no, they did not. So what's going to happen next? If they did open it, what's going to happen? So now, because they've opened it, we are going to send them the next campaign. So we're going to go to send campaign. And because they open, we're sending them campaign 2. And we're going to click save. So now you can see campaign 2 was sent. But what about the no? We're going to do the no after we've done the yes section so that it makes sense, a logical sense. I'm just one of those people that wants to finish one area and they'll go back. So now that they've received that, what's going to happen again? Same thing like before, we're going to give them a waiting period because it's important. But let's say this day, we're just going to make it 3 days. And then what happens after the 3 days? This time around, we want to see if a person actually clicked on that link in that specific campaign. Remember, that's why I called it link click, so that we could differentiate. So the email that we sent was link, that one. And the system already picks up that Builderall email that I've added, or the link that I've added inside of that email. And then we're going to click save. Again, there is an option of what's going to happen. Oh, let me just close that, sorry. What's going to happen, whether they say yes or no. So in this case, we leave the no for later. If they did open up that email, what is going to be the next step? Now you can go and choose whatever you like. You can move them from one list to another list. You can send them into a different kinds of workflow. It doesn't matter what you want to do. You can choose right here, or you can just literally end it off and say end workflow for that person right there. All right. So that is the link that we're going to go to, because they have actually no, we can send them another campaign. Hold on a second. I forgot we've got the third campaign. We're first going to send them the next campaign. So let me just send that campaign, which is the third one, which is sending up. Sorry, guys. There we go. And then after that, we can decide what if we want to move them to another workflow or just end it for them. So now you can see, let's just refresh quickly. They joined the list right in the beginning. The campaign will be sent out to them. It's going to wait 5 days. The system will check whether they've opened up the email or not. If they did not, if they opened the email, it's going to send them another email with a link. It's going to wait 3 days. It's going to check again. Did they open it or not? Or clicked on the link? If they clicked on the link, it's going to send them campaign 3. Now you can do exactly the same on the other side. The only difference is it might change a little bit depending if you have created other type of sequences. Maybe those sequences are going to be different. So in this case, they did not open the email here. You might send them here a reminder email that you have created in your campaign. I did not create a reminder here because I wanted to show you what a workflow could look like. But let's say in this case, because I did not, you can. It's not going to bother if you send them the same one again. I don't think if bother is the right word here, but we'll just send them the same campaign again. And then you're going to go again, wait 3 days, or whatever, how many days you want to do, and check if the person has opened up that email, because it's important. You don't want them to get the link click one if they haven't opened up the email. So let's see, did they open up the email after the 3 days? If it's yes, then you're going to say, okay, let's send them another campaign, the link click campaign. If they did not, then this customer is never going to open it up. You might as well stop the workflow there. And this is important because you do not want to keep sending emails to people that are not engaging with your emails, because it can destroy your reputation. So make sure that you think about that as well.
Yeah.
So
well, on that note, Jackie, I just want everyone to think about like why you want to talk to people who don't want to talk to you. You know what I mean? We want users who want to engage with the company, to be active on our lists and really engaging with our content, clicking the links, coming back to our website, really, dialing into what we're saying. And if we can't really manage to do that, that should be a sign for us to look at our content and look at who we're talking to and what we're saying.
Exactly. So, well, now that this one has ended there, we can see the send campaign to link here. It's now been sent. We can again wait now another few days. Let's say 3 days again. And because that one was sent, we're going to check if the person has actually clicked on that link. So let's just go to the link click. And I always scroll so fast past it. And we're going to go to link. Going to check, did they click on that link? If they did click on the link, we're going to send them the next campaign, which is the final campaign, which is number 3. And then it ends for them, or move them to another list. You can choose what you want to do right there. If they did not hear, that they did not click on that link, let's just end it there for that guy as well. If we're going to have to end off this one here, we can also just say if they did not click. And the reason why I'm doing is because if you go take a look at this, there are so many different ways and things that you can do with people. You can send them reminder emails or reminders. You can send them, move them from one workflow to another workflow. It really depends on the type of email sequence or campaigns that you've created as reminders to get them. Or maybe you've created another campaign with different headlines or subject lines. It's almost like an A/B testing kind of thing. Maybe it's your subject line that didn't pull them in. So you're going to make use of another type of email. So you guys can see how advanced the tagging comes. And it's not my idea yet to tell you guys that you must get afraid of these things. What I'm trying to say is that you can create really, really awesome campaigns and even test to see if subject lines are successful or not by just looking at your emails, whether they are being opened or not opened, adding tags to them if they open up an email, give them a score if they if they do certain actions. This is just the beginning and just an example that I've given you right here so that you can see how it is done. So I'm just going to make it a little bit smaller, and you're going to see already our little section that we've just created here.
And just to comment on this, people in the comments, go ahead, ask your questions. I do have something to say. This is very easy to put together because you're working it step by step. Just always think about what the next piece of communication is going to be, or what you want to do next. Jackie, could you zoom out?
Say again?
Could you zoom out and show people the entire workflow?
Yes.
What I want to show people is that in the last 20 minutes or however it is, maybe less, that you spent putting this together, to the outsider, this looks pretty daunting, right? This looks maybe a little intimidating to get started with. But everyone saw how quickly and how easily you put this together. And I want users to, and our viewers here today, to really look at it critically, be excited to put something like this together, and don't look at it as something that's intimidating, because it only looks intimidating visually. We went through step by step and it was very easy. I see some people in the comments saying that it was very well explained. Thank you so much, Jackie. This is awesome.
Awesome. Awesome.
We do have a couple of questions. Maybe we can pause before we hop into the final level of emails.
Just one more thing. Remember, guys, to always save.
Yes.
And to yes. And to activate your flow, because if the flow is not activated, then it's not going to work. All right.
Yes. Clarabelle was asking, did the email sequence, or is the email sequence automatically built from the workflow?
No, you first create the email sequences. And it's actually not an email sequence, it is a campaign.
Yes.
And a sequence cannot be used inside of a workflow, but a campaign can. The only time that sequence can be pulled is to see whether, let's say, you have sent out a sequence to a specific list, and you want to check if a person has clicked on a specific link or opened that sequence, then the system can go take a look at it. But you can't trigger it to send out a sequence from the workflow, only a campaign. Yes. So you need to create the campaign first, and then you start pulling it into the workflow.
Right. And our next question is, what's the difference between a campaign and a sequence?
Benoit, I think that is how you say your name.
Benoit, actually, I think it's Benoit.
Benoit.
Benoit. Benoit. Benoit. It's a French name, like mine.
French.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Sorry about that.
Yep.
But in the beginning of the session, I would urge you to go and watch from the beginning of the session. I did explain the difference. There's actually a huge difference, but let me just summarize it very quickly. A sequence is a set of emails that are created and that is connected to a specific list at a specific time at a specific day, where a campaign is not connected to any list or any specific date or time. The workflow determines when that campaign will be sent and to who it will be sent. So it can be sent to any type of list that you choose inside of the workflow. So campaigns are made for workflows. Sequences are made, let's say you have got a newsletter and you are going to plan that newsletter for the next 12 months in advance for a specific list. Then you will set up your sequences right in advance. You don't need to have it inside of a workflow to automate it that way. So I hope that makes sense.
Yes, I think it did. We have some questions from EFI Social. I saw your question, and I just want to go back up to the previous one. Is it possible to insert playing videos in our email, not a link to go to a page? I want to caution on this. I would highly recommend you don't do that. It makes the email very large, so it's going to go into spam immediately. And then a lot of times, the graphic content gets filtered out of the email. So when a user gets the email, they have to click another ribbon that says, display images, and then they click on it, and then the image kind of pops up. You don't want to have really heavy emails. And I actually highly recommend you use your email as a bridge to send users to your website or to a page. So creating a landing page with the video embedded and sending users there. That way, first, they can watch your content on your channels. You can have analytics, see what's happening. You can tag users with your cookies or with whatever it is that you're using to track, and you can serve people more content on your page. So I know it's you want to offer, maybe the idea here is that you want to offer content really accessibly to users, but we highly recommend that your emails act like a bridge to a landing.
Perfect.
Yeah, we're going to take all the rest of your questions right after this third installment or third level, which I'm super excited about. Jackie, I want to cut you off again. Really sorry about that. And
Go for it.
The third level of what we're going to do, because it involves a UTM link, and I want to help people just understand this very quickly. Here, let me add my screen. Okay, so what we're going to do next is this third level of difficulty. I get really excited about this topic because it's really cool. What is a UTM link? A UTM is parameters or text that gets added to any link that does a few things. It helps us track link clicks. It provides us metrics like what source, what medium, what campaign, what content this link contains. And it does not impact the link itself. All right. No. You guys are going to see this example here. We're going to break down this example. I just want to make sure that people know a UTM does not impact your link functionality at all. All right. What it does do is it adds to it a level of analytics and some functionality that we can utilize with the Builderall platform. So on this top here, we're going to see the link without the UTM is builderall.com/email marketing. The bottom is the link with the UTM. So we're going to see the main link is the same, builderall.com/email marketing. Then you're going to see this question mark, UTM_campaign equals whatever name of campaign you want to give it. So if it's like email hero or whatever it is type of code that you want to add to identify this, that's where you get added. Now, I don't expect people to sit there and, start to add these UTMs automatically. So what we've done is we've created a page. Excuse me, my cat is jumping into my lap again. Let me show you guys this page we created, builderall.com/UTM request. So we'll throw this into the comments and you guys can go there. This is what the page looks like. You're going to see this form. This form, you're going to, input your information. It's going to take you to this page. And this page contains a video that I've done to show you guys how to utilize this template creator. So this UTM builder, we've created it for you guys that you can go in and utilize. Let me zoom right in, show you guys the steps. So if we were to say builderall.com is my website UTM, or my website URL, excuse me, I can select from these different sources. Let's say I'm running an Instagram ad. I can just use this drop down and select Instagram. And then for the medium, this is usually something like, is this a video ad? Is it is it a display ad? Is it a pay-per-click ad? Is it an email? Is it a link in bio? Whatever it's from, you can go ahead and select it. Let's say in this case, it was Instagram and it was like the profile link, and the campaign is email hero. You can notice here on the left-hand side, the UTM is getting automatically added to the side. Now, all I need to do is come in here and copy and use this this UTM, or this entire URL that includes my UTM parameters automatically. And this is obviously free. So go to UTM dash request. That's the link I dropped in the comments, and download it and utilize it to create your own UTMs easily. All right. And if you guys have any questions, this is my email. I monitor it daily, obviously, pierre@builderall.com. Just send me whatever emails, questions. If you don't know how to use it, let me know. I'll create a video and post it there. But feel free to add it. Now, that was a lot of words from me. I'll give everyone a minute to breathe. What I want people to consider is this is a very, very, very useful way to track all of your links. I want you guys to use UTMs, not necessarily for this case that we're going to show you, for every single thing. We have a rule here at Builderall: no link leaves the marketing team without a UTM. All right. Mm-hmm. For me, in my eyes, in my mind, a link that doesn't have any tracking parameters might as well not exist. Okay, so I want everyone to get the same type of energy behind your link building. It is so important to identify where your traffic's coming from and what is effective. All right. So without further ado, we're on to level 3. We're going to utilize the UTM to filter users in different lists. Okay, so based on what link or what ad or whatever that source is, we're going to send users to different lists and then send them specialized content or specialized messaging. Jackie, thank you for your patience here with me, and we can go back to you.
Perfect. All right, so let me just start sharing that. Every time I stop sharing, my screen just disappears. I think it's because I've got so many screens open. That one. All right, so Pierre just said exactly that. We are a real estate agency. We are covering people that wants to buy homes and those that wants to sell homes. So those are the two different parameters that we have, buying and selling. And therefore, our ads that we're going to have on social media, one will be for buying and the other one for selling. So the link that is for selling is going to go with the ad for sell, and those for buy is going to go with the ad for buy. So that is how we're going to differentiate between the two to see our users. And what's great, they all will be added to exactly the same list. All right. But we will show you something amazing later on how you can filter all of those. So the first thing that we're going to do is you're going to see here is our real estate agency right here. And we've got 3 pages, a home page, and then a pending, which means is they need to go and confirm the email, and then a thank you page that is right here. All right. Now I'm just going to go and click on this little pencil, and we're going to edit this page. So we pre-created this page to make it a little bit easier for you guys to understand. And we are going to add in our opt-in. Now, first thing we need to do is to go to the elements, and I need to discuss 2 different things with you so that you can understand the differences between the two. You can have an email marketing form on your website that collects the information and add them to a list. That's basically what it does. But when it comes to UTMs, you need a little bit more of an advanced functionality, and that is what our contact form is doing. So if we're going to go to the contact form in this case, and that's what we are going to use, I'm going to drag and drop this to the page. All right. And you know what? That earlier today, when we were doing the other session, I just realized that I cannot just leave this alone. I'm now going to have to go and change this button color, because it's just one of those things now. I can't leave it like this. No, I'm lying. So anyways, let me just go to the set fields. And what I want to do is, under the field area, I'm going to go and delete all of this. And I'm going to tell you why I'm doing this. Because it is so important. If you want the contact form to communicate with your lists, right, the fields needs to be exactly the same. Because remember, with an email marketing form, the moment you drop it on the page, it already asks you which list do you want to connect to it. Now, because this is a contact form, it's not asking you that. So it's not pulling in those form fields that you would have had on your email list. All right. So we need to go and create them here. So before we go on now, we're going to go to our list area. This is the one that we created earlier. And I'm going to go to my update, because I want to change that single to a double, because we obviously have got a double opt-in there. And then we are going to go to, let me just click update. Then we're going to go to the form area. We've got first name and we've got email. Now, it's really important to remember not to use text fields with multiple lines, because that's not going to work. You want to drag and drop a text field, a simple text field, and we're going to add the word UTM in this area. Just like you get the tag F name and email, we now want to add in UTM. All right, really important. The other thing is, you want to make sure that this UTM is hidden. Why do you want to hide it? It's because you do not want the people to see that on the form itself. That's why you are hiding it. And again, we need to make exactly the same fields that you see right here needs to also be on the contact list. So we're going to click on update. And you're going to see there is all of it. First name, email, UTM. Now we're going to go to our list. We're going to click new field. We've got a text area. And remember, we need to do F name, exactly like that. So the first one is going to be F name. Name. All right. And it's required. We don't have to hide anything. We're going to click save. We're going to see that is F name, exactly. Now we're going to do email, text, email. You can write with a label anything. It doesn't matter there, but the tag needs to be exactly the same. We're going to say required. We're going to click save. So F name and email. Now we're going to do the UTM. It's also, again, remember, it's a text. We're going to go UTM. And this is now where the change is. You don't need to put a label because nobody is going to see it. The visibility is going to be hidden. But the default value here is what is very, very important. Now, you can go, and if you're a person that can copy perfectly without copying spaces in the beginning, at the end of it, do that by all means. But sometimes it's a good idea to just retype it in. But for the sake of this exercise, I'm not going to take that long. I'm just going to copy in the value right there. So if you guys want to see, that is what the default value is. It's like a bracket, URL, param, and then there is a space, param with an equal sign, and then the what do they call it? This is an apostrophe. That's what I learned in my days. It's like, I don't know what they call those little things. To me, it's an apostrophe. And then UTM, and then you close it again with a bracket. I really don't know what they call it.
Quote? Like a quotation?
It's a quote.
Yeah.
But it's called, I learned that it was an apostrophe.
A quotation mark. This is a quotation mark because an apostrophe is one. I think.
Ah. But anyways, that is basically what it looks like.
Yeah.
So once you've done that, also make sure that this is hidden. Really, really important to do that. Then we're going to click save. So you can see we've got first name, email, and UTM. All right. Very important to remember. So we're going to click save, but we're not done because we're going to go to the action area. Now, this is how we connect the list with the contact. We're going to go back to the list and we're going to go to the embed, and you're going to see that there's the subscribe URL. We're going to copy that subscribe URL and we're going to place it right into this field and we're going to click save. So now we have connected it. So to make double sure, we click, we can see our list is there and our fields. Now I know we're going to have people saying, Jackie, but how are we going to send them to confirm your email? Because they need to confirm the email, otherwise they can't move on, correct? So the answer is yes, there is a way. So I'm just going to click on save. Right. So yes, publish my site, and I'm going to show you guys exactly how that is done. All right. So now this page is done. I'm just going to go back to my list of pages, and you're going to see here's my pending page. I'm going to go and I'm going to copy the pending. All right. And then I'm going to go back to the list, and you're going to see we've got thank you pages here. There is the pending. Just take that section out there because you don't want an error. And then for subscribe, confirm, you're going to go to your thank you page there, and you're going to copy that one right there. Go back to your list, and you're going to remove that section there. I hope everybody is still with me. And then we're going to click update. All right. So now basically what we have done here is we've connected the contact list to this page. We've added in exact fields as to the list that we have, and we've connected the contact list with the list itself by adding it into the thank you page area. We took the link right here from the subscribe and added to the action inside of our list. All right. Now, once we're done, I'm just going to click update again to make sure the changes has taken place, and we're going to click close. So is there any questions before we continue from here? No, nothing. Doesn't look like it, right?
Well, we have some, we have some questions, but I don't think it relates to this. I think this was pretty clear, actually.
Okay. All right. So now we are going to go to, okay, so we've done that part now. So now let's go to the website itself. I'm just going to republish here. I just want to close some of these links here at the top because I'm a little bit overwhelmed with too many links. All right. So here we are now. What we are going to do now is we are going to preview this by clicking on the link and see the live action here. And what we're going to do is to add the UTM behind this link right here. So we're going to remove this home that we have right here, and we're going to add the UTM right there. So now you're going to see we've got UTM sell home. I don't know why it is giving me in capitals because it should not be in capitals. Let me just copy this because the capitals never work for me for some reason. And let me just clean. I think I know how I can. Let me just refresh this page. Add that, and then cookies and data. I just want to clear my cage and cookies here. UTM equals sell home. All right, there we go. So now we are going to type in our details, and I'm just going to put my own in here, and we're going to click on access. And we need to give it some time because remember, it's not a normal form that we are adding it. Now it's gone here and says we need to go and confirm our email address. All right. So give me a moment so that I can go on and find my email on the other screen. So just give me some time here. I've got so many screens.
As you do that, I think there's a question here. Is this only for campaigns and workflow? If by this you mean The links can be utilized on any email type. If you mean like the form, you can utilize the same thing for any form on the Builderall platform. All right. So this is not only for campaigns and workflows.
All right, so there we've added it and we've confirmed it. So we've gone through the whole process. All right, so this person is now inside of this area right here. So you do exactly the same for buy home. So if you want to do that, you're just going to copy your buy home. All right, we're going to go, we're going to view the page. We're going to remove that section right there. And we are placing in buy home. And you're going to do that. So now let's just go with another email of mine. And it's going to go ask me to confirm. I just don't have access to that email, but just to show you how it works, I'm going to show you how it's been added. All right, so now it's been added right there. And I'm going to refresh this page here. And it should give me 2 subscribers now that we are sitting right here at the moment.
Beautiful.
If we click on it and we go to subscribers, you can see the one is confirmed, that one is unconfirmed. If I click on this one right here and I click update, you're going to see the UTM sell home is sitting right there. All right. Close that one. Update, buy home. So you can see that both of the UTMs has been given to these areas. All right. So now you might be thinking, okay, but how are you going to send emails to these guys now? Because they're all on the same list. All right. And this is now, before I show you how it's done in the workflow, I want to show you the advanced filter. If you click on the advanced filter right here. Now remember, this is not a tag. This is a field. We've added a field and not a tag. So under the conditions area, if you're going to go to your fields, all fields, and you're going to scroll down until you find, let me just scroll up that a little bit. You're going to find the field that you created, the UTM, and then you type in exactly the one that you've created. Remember, it has to be exactly. And you click search, and it only shows me that specific one with sell home. Works exactly the same method. And I'm showing you here because in the, on the workflow itself, we're going to do something else that's different. All right. So you can see that this is how it works if you are filtering somebody. So I'm going to close. Now we're going to go to the list of emails. And because of this, I want to show you that I've already actually created 3 campaigns specifically for this, or a campaign. Let me just click on email sequence here. And I've created a campaign that says update. One is for sell home and one is for buy home. All right, so we're going to send those to 2 different kinds of campaigns. For those that has got the tag buy home, and for those that got the tag, or not the tag, the field UTM number sell home. So let's go to the workflow. Create workflow. And we are going to go first with unsubscribed ads, our real estate company. All right. We're going to send a campaign. All right. We first want to send the campaign to everybody that has got the sell home. But now we need to differentiate. So exactly like I showed you earlier, you're going to click on advanced filter. And we're going to look for that field, all fields, which is the UTM. UTM, sell home. And we're going to click save. So everybody that's got that tag is going to get that email. Now we're doing the same thing. Send campaign, which is the buy home. Where's my buy home? I must have a buy home. Where's my buy home? Oh, there is it at the top. Advance. I just want to scroll my screen up a little bit. All fields, UTM, buy home, and we're going to click save. There we go. We're going to give it the name. Make sure that it's active, and we're going to click save.
And just so everyone knows, this is the perfect way. In one place, you have your entire marketing sequence after someone gives you their contact information. And you can build and develop different campaigns, and you can add them to that tree. You know exactly which audience you're talking to. Am I talking to someone who wants to buy a home or sell a home? Buy a service or sell a service? Or buy service A versus service B? And I can use this workflow to build on the different ideas and the different pieces of content that I want to share. All of it lives in one place. It's a little bit of a path to get here, but once you set up the UTM filtration system, everything becomes so targeted with the way you're talking to people, what you're saying, why they're there. It is going to boost your conversion rate significantly just by the fact that your message is so relevant to users, because when you communicate with them, you know exactly what you want to communicate about. Jackie, before we start taking questions, let's go through and highlight one more time the coupon for today's session. If you don't have a Builderall account, you can get the first month of Essentials. And the reason why we picked Essentials is that is the most affordable way to get into website building, email development, and a whole slew of other wonderful tools from Builderall. The Essentials plan, I think, if you want to start a business online, the Essentials plan is where it's at. 50% off on your first month, and you get access to a free one-on-one call with a success coach like Jackie. Maybe you'll actually get Jackie herself if you're lucky. And she can walk you through all of the things that you need to do to get your account set up in the most ideal way to hit the ground running. So without further ado, ready for some questions, Jackie?
Yes, cool.
All right.
I'm starting to see here at the top where we've been last. How can we send our subscribers who opened our email to another sequence? There is an option in the workflow that says move. So you can move it from one workflow to another workflow. So instead of sending another campaign, you choose move. That's basically all that you need to do.
I do want to make a distinction between move and copy. Both are available. Copy gives you just like a duplicate of that list. Move actually removes a user from one list and moves them to the other list. Okay.
Yeah.
This is a great tool to use if you have multiple workflows that are really valuable, and then you can cycle people in and out of those workflows. So great.
And while you are talking about that, there's another thing here quickly, and I know we're running over our time here, a lot over the time today. But what is really important is even the unsubscribe feature. People don't understand that unsubscribe, how very powerful it is. Because when you're going to start doing list cleaning, if you see a person is not engaging with your list in the workflow and you get to the end of the workflow where you just end it for that person, you can literally actually use unsubscribe. Which means is they will unsubscribe it on the list. And by the time you get to your list and you do list cleaning, which you need to do at a regular basis, you can filter it and look at all the unsubscribes, and then you can just delete them because you don't want them on your listing anyway. So you don't just have to bluntly leave it on end workflow. You can make use of unsubscribe as well.
Beautiful. We have a question from Benoit. It's a double question here. He asks, for an ebook, what is the best? To acquire email addresses with an ebook as a gift. Is it best to create a campaign and to send an email sequence to a specific list? Do we use a sequence? I think for an ebook, excuse me, you can actually set up the form on Builderall to send users to a downloadable file directly, and
Yeah.
you'll retain your email address in a specific list. So it's actually much simpler than creating an entire workflow and then you send users that email in the workflow. It's a great question. I know typically if you were on WordPress or something like that, you would have to bring in your email tool, drop it into the form, and then have the form send in emails. You don't have to mess with any of that on the Builderall platform. You can, as you're building the page, on the button, when you go to set the link, you can say downloadable, and you just use your PDF right then and there, and it gives them access once they sign up.
Yeah, and beside that, the ebook is normally connected to a specific list in any ways. The ebook is not connected to a general type of thing. Remember, with a campaign, it's more about not a specific list. It's something that you can use anywhere. It can be attached to any list as well. But when it comes to an ebook, it's normally, unless you really want to see if people has clicked on it and moved on or whatever.
I want users to start thinking of email campaigns as like independent of time, right? So whenever the users sign up and they join this campaign, all of the rest of the content needs to be relevant over time. So you don't want dates or anything like that are really hard fast, because like the ideal case for an email campaign is someone signs up to your service and they receive a welcome email, and after that they receive some sort of nurture email, and then you send people evergreen content. So that's sort of how you want to think about email campaigns. You want something that won't be irrelevant over time. All right. Cool. Will this video be accessible afterwards? Yes, absolutely. Make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell on YouTube. That way, every time we go live and every time we have a post, you can get notified on YouTube, which most of us spend our time on YouTube anyway. So that'll be right there and convenient. Here, Epic, I think this is following up on the previous question about the video in the email. So what about HTML embed for pics, videos versus inserting pictures, GIFs into the email and stuff? Can this be done, or does it make the email large? It does make the email large. You need to be super cautious when adding images and things of that nature into your email. That said, adding GIFs and adding images does increase the value of your email, the likelihood that people are going to click. So you want to be careful. Jackie, you always mention a few tools that help shrink the image size. Make sure to use those. Make sure to go online and reduce the size of that image as much as possible, and GIF as much as possible before using it. Okay, cool. All right, let's keep scrolling along. Definitely UTM videos on how to. We can create a pretty decent series about UTM. I'll add that to our list here, and we can produce something like this in the future. I think this is great. All right, let's see. Can you copy workflows from another campaign without starting all over, then simply modify as needed?
You can't copy a workflow, no.
Can you duplicate a workflow?
No.
No. Is there something we can do on the Builderall platform that would save us the trouble?
In the past, we used to have that function to duplicate, but we do not have that at the moment with the new workflows. And I think there is a reason. Somebody mentioned, one of my team members mentioned the other day why it was not part of it. And I think it's to do with something, I don't know. I have to say, I can't remember the real reason behind it, but you can't duplicate it, unfortunately.
Which seems strange. I'm going to go ahead and ask our head of product here and see why we can't do something like this, and if we can do
I know in the previous time we used to be able to do that.
All right.
Is this only for campaign and workflow? A campaign and a workflow is the only ones that works together. A normal broadcast email and a sequence is not part of a workflow because they are attached to a specific list and time.
Jackie, do you remember what a UTM means? I think it has to do with like the word urchin somewhere, right? Urchin tracking module or something of the sort. I
Yes,
think that was the company that first
that is
released
it.
something like this. It was called Urchin. We're gonna put
I,
the
I
name.
call it an unbelievable tracking method.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one. Can we use UTM's filtering as Salesforce? I'm not really sure what this question means. Like in Salesforce, if you have UTM's on your links, anything that detects that UTM and filters that through will pick up that UTM automatically. No, regardless of where it comes from or where it's going. So if you're using Salesforce as a CRM and you want to utilize the UTM links, you can.
You can even use it for affiliate marketing, by the way. If you don't want to use a proper affiliate system, and we do have an affiliate system inside, but you can give a specific link to somebody to see how many people they are bringing to your platform, or even on Facebook. To give an example, maybe you're running a special or something, and for a specific group in Facebook, you can share this specific link with them, and that Facebook group is going to show up on the people that they actually bring into your list. So there's so much you can do with it. Did the UTM sell home pop up on its own, or how did you know what to add? Did the UTM sell home pop up
Yeah,
on its?
I think this question was asked when you went to the URL and it was like in all caps. So I think they were wondering if
Oh, no,
how
it's
was it set up.
it's because previously when I was doing something on it, I created. That's why I went in and I cleared my cage and cookies, because my browser remembered the previous settings that I had, and that's why it popped up in capitals. That's why I cleaned it.
Clarabelle asks, can you use a contact form that has a check service list of what they wanted to request? I have 3 services on my contact form. I think that once you add that invisible form field, I think it doesn't really matter how many how many forms or contact forms you already have right now. So you can just go ahead and add that hidden form field right into your form, and it doesn't it's not going to impact the other forms, right? Jackie, did I get that right? I think I did.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. It doesn't matter how many you've got there. The thing is with this, with a contact form, what's nice about the contact form is because once you have completed it, it sends you the information. You get it in your email, and a nice block gives you all the information of the person that I was contacting you. But you need to be careful. If you're going to have lists and lists and lists, and you connect it to an email list, your mailing boss is going to have all of these thousands of lists. You really need to think, why are you using a contact form and why are you using an email marketing form? You're going to have to make a decision as to what is the real purpose of that.
Right. All right. So looks like we are at the end of our session. As just a final word, I want to reshare my screen. Always connect your marketing activity back to the funnel and then more of a foundation, the ADA principle itself. Ask yourself, what am I trying to do? Am I trying to raise awareness? Am I trying to raise interest? Do I want to help my customer make a decision, or do I want to drive them to take action? And please screenshot this image. Please use the appropriate channel. If someone comes back to me and sends me an email, pierre@builderall.com, and sends me an email saying, hey, Pierre, I tried to send my, a new list that I purchased emails to promote my business. I will have none of that. Okay. No one's allowed to send cold emails ever again. Okay. Use another channel to drive customers into a landing page, collect their information, give them value, give them something back, and then start to nurture them on email. Okay. if anyone mentions in front of you that they used cold lists on emails successfully, I want you to send them to me because they're liars. Okay, so take a screenshot of this. This is the customer journey that is the foundation of all marketing activity. All right, and I say this, I've been in marketing for the past 15 years. This is what I studied. I have degrees in marketing and psychology. This is the foundation. Okay, it's not my concept. I didn't come up with anything. I'm just relaying it to you guys. The ADA principle is the foundation of marketing. Please consider what channels you're using and how it connects to user behavior, and have your emails really matter. Okay, we have this idea of motivating information. Keep that in mind. What you say and how you say it, your subject lines, your pre-headers. Don't just type anything in and send your emails randomly. Okay, I want everyone to be immensely intentional with your email marketing. This is the channel that's going to drive the greatest amount of conversions for your business. All right, any business, whatever it is, your email list is the foundation of your conversions. All right, that's all I have, Jackie. If you wanted to add a couple ideas, now's your moment. Otherwise, we've been here for over an hour and a half, and we can let people go. And we definitely appreciate everyone's time.
Now, all I want to say is if you guys are struggling, Builderall is really there to help you. You guys just need to take the effort and join these meetings. We've got a meeting every single Monday at 10 a.m. EST time where you can join me live. If you've got any questions that you need to ask, if you can't make those sessions, you can always go and watch the replay, and in the comment section, type in your questions and just tag me, and I will answer them there for you. Otherwise, you still got support as well to help you out, and you can even book calls with success coaches there as well. So you've got no excuse to build something amazing. Go out there, start playing around with Mailing Boss. You will be surprised at what it really can do for you. That's basically all from myself. And
let me just touch this quick question here. Is the training section and the Mailing Boss videos up to date? When I looked, it was the old version. The content is still relevant. The user interface, I think, is one version behind. We're currently creating those tutorials as we speak. So
that's because it was 2 days ago that they changed the email. So it's
yes,
it was a little bit on top of us. But you guys will know exactly what to do because it's not really that difficult to see the difference.
Beautiful. All right. Well, thank you so much, everyone. We'll catch
Thank you, everyone. Have a good day. Bye.